This is Kay Kritiques. Hello everybody and welcome to another segment of Kay Kritiques, where we discuss all things South African television. And as you can already tell by the title of today's video, we are reviewing Youngins season 1 episode 7 to 9, and starting off with Amo. So in the previous episode we saw that the girlie went into the principal's office, and Amo is definitely convinced that the principal is sleeping with the students at the school. She calls a meeting and the gang doesn't believe her. I mean, all these years that they've been a part of the school, all these years that they've known the principal, there's never ever been an indication that he's sleeping with students, especially for Buhle and Khaya, because they are matriculants. They've been in the school for 5 years. One thing about Amo, she wants to expose the principal. She's like, guys, we need to go and tell somebody, we need to expose the principal. Buhle's like, listen, I do not want any parts of it. I don't want to be involved at all. And literally all of them are like, listen, we do not want to be involved. And Mahlatsi is the only one who actually agrees to help her, but then that's only because he wants her. I mean, he did say that his mother also had fate almost similar to Zinhle, where she had a child when she was very young and the guy leaves her, and then you have to raise a kid while you're still a kid. So he does empathize with that. But I doubt that if it was Buhle who was coming with this information, that Mahlatsi would have helped. He's only helping because he wants to get closer to Amo, which is actually proven later when he's telling her that, listen, plan needs to be that you get closer to Zinhle in order for her to open up to you so that you can expose the principal. And then he's like, yeah, sometimes you need to just get closer to the person and closer until they finally see you, which gave me the ick, because it's like, oh, so you're not helping Amo expose the principal because you feel that statutory rape and grooming and sexual abuse of minors is wrong. It's only because you want to get into Amo's pants. Mahlatsi is Mahlatsi and he's a good guy, but I was side-eyeing him in that moment. Now she wants to get closer to Zinhle, and we actually start to see that she is trying to use Zinhle to rectify where she feels like she didn't help her mom when her mom was being abused. So she's trying to help Zinhle in order to try and rectify that and correct that. I know that trauma manifests itself in different ways, but I feel like Amo using this girl to try and ease her own guilt over her mother's passing, that is also exploitative, because she, as much as it's a good thing that Amo is speaking out, we do need more people to speak out against like sexual abuse and the abuse of little girls, especially in this country. But at the same time, it's like you are only using her to try and gain something, which is to ease your guilty conscience, and not really because you want to help her. It's because of your trauma. If her mother was not abused, would she have helped Zinhle? I doubt it. As far as we can see, Zinhle knows exactly what she's doing. Like, she's very proud of the fact that she's dating matured men. She's like, yeah, one thing about me, I don't date these young boys and all this other stuff. So she knows exactly what she's doing. And that's not to victim blame and victim shame, because when you're being groomed, you don't know that you're being groomed. When you're being preyed upon, you do not know that you're being preyed upon. She's loving the attention. She's loving that she's going to Durban with her man for vacation, and the principal bought her a new phone. And Amo now keeps getting closer with Zinhle and is busy asking about the boyfriend. And it's getting a little bit suspicious. Like, Amo, try and be subtle about this whole thing. Like, you can't keep asking about the boyfriend. You're always the one bringing up the boyfriend, whereas Zinhle doesn't even talk about her boyfriend to you. You're always the one asking questions, and it's getting kind of creepy as well. Let's us move on to Khaya. So Khaya, we see that he's stressed about the upcoming school test. We all know that he's not really book smart. We also see that he still wants Amo, and I'm like, you have a girlfriend already. And Mr. Fuck was like, why do you keep trying to push your Amo onto me? You want her, so go after her. And especially after that soccer match where you see the contrast between Amo and Buhle, and we see that he's called into the principal's office once again. He doesn't know any of the work that he's supposed to know for these school tests. He doesn't know Newton's law. He doesn't know Pythagoras' theorem. He doesn't know anything basically, but he's like, yeah, I just need to study and get the hang of it and revise, and then I'll be fine. So he basically doesn't want to admit that he's struggling and that he needs help. And the principal is like, listen, you're not going to be playing soccer. You're going to come into my office at every free period, every lunch break, even after school. You're going to come into this office and we are going to do revision. Whereas on the other hand, de Klerk, which I finally find out that his surname is Ramotshela is very demotivating, and honestly it kind of annoys me a bit. As a teacher, you should want your students to excel in your subject, because it also reflects on you as a teacher. Finding out where the problem is, where the disconnect is, what are they not getting that other students are getting. Why demotivate him? Why embarrass him in front of the whole class? Why tell him you shouldn't even write this test because you're gonna fail, and you're gonna be an employee, you're gonna be a janitor at the school, you're never gonna pass matric, you're gonna stay here for years and years, you're gonna be a veteran at Olifantsfontein. Why are you doing this? On top of de Klerk's demotivation, his dad calls him and is like, if you fail, there's gonna be hell to pay, because I am not paying all these school fees for you to embarrass me. Khaya's dad is abusive and beats him up every chance he gets, and that he's broken Khaya down, has broken down his spirit. But I like that Khaya doesn't let his abusive environment and his abusive home actually make him a crappy person. I mean, he is defending the principal. Listen, Amo, the principal came here when we had a 30% pass rate and now we're at 100% pass rate. Like, why are you doing this? Leave it alone. These girls always throw themselves at him, so why are you so worried about what the principal is up to, blah blah blah, and all this other stuff? 95% of the time he's a good guy. So anyways, so he studies with the principal. I'm very nitpicky, like, don't mind me, but one thing about me, I'm very nitpicky. The equation was 6x plus 5 equals 14. Then you say 6x is equal to 14 minus 5, which is 9. And then you say x then equals 9 over 6, which then becomes 3 over 2. But then they were like, the answer is 3. I was like, what? I mean, he got 62% for his maths test. So, I mean, something that Principal Mthembu did is right. But yeah, Khaya gets 62% for his maths test. And I was so proud of him. I was so proud of him. Like, Mr. Ramotshela couldn't even say congratulations. So let's get into Tumelo's part and then move on to the freshers. So Tumelo, like, we've been seeing him all throughout the season. He's always on TikTok live, like, he's a content creator. He wants to be viral, he wants to be verified before the end of the school year. But I feel like maybe this TikTok thing is gonna play a role in them exposing the principal. I don't know, but I feel like this TikTok career of his is gonna get him into trouble. Singleness was making him insane, honestly. Like, he was going off the rails, but now we see that he's getting closer to Alex, and Sefako was losing it. He was down bad. He was literally watching them, and you could literally see his heart break into pieces. And at first I was like, I'm here for it, but the more I see it, the more I see Sefako being depressed and down bad. I'm like, oh, does he actually like Tumelo? I mean, nobody has the right to force you to come out of the closet. Nobody has a right to out you as well. So I understand him wanting to protect himself in the best way he knows how. The thing I don't like is that he's always homophobic towards Tumelo. I just want to clear something up. So we do find out in these episodes that Alex is non-binary. Their pronouns are they and them. As much as they're all lovey-dovey, they're getting to know each other. I think Tumelo knew that Usufako was watching, and that's why he did that, to try and make Usufako jealous, because Alex actually wants to go public with their relationship, but Tumelo does not want that. His relationship with Usufako is literally still playing a role in this relationship with Alex. He claims that Alex is way too nice and that nice is boring. And I'm like, oh, so the same things that you were complaining and asking Sefako to do, now that Alex is doing them, you don't want them? And you're saying that Alex is quote unquote too nice? So you want somebody to be mean to you the way Sefako's being mean to you. You want somebody to hide you the same way Sefako's hiding you. So basically Tumelo wants to play out this relationship that he had with Sefako with somebody new. You've been begging Sefako to make things public, to do things with you, to attend events with you, and be out in the open with you. Now that you have somebody who's actually doing that, you're ashamed of them. Why not just dump Alex then? He's an attention seeker, and he's literally treating Alex the same way that Sefako treated him, and that is not fair. But we do see that Alex knows their worth. They are like, listen, you're ghosting me, you're avoiding me. If you want me, tell me. If you don't want me, then don't leave me on. I want to go public. I want us to be free and out there. And if you don't want that, then just let me know. But obviously Tumelo is like, no, I'm not leading you on, blah blah blah. And then we see them actually getting intimate, and they didn't actually discuss how are things gonna work, who's gonna be doing what, who. So they're having those differences as well. That's where their storyline ends for now. Now let us move on to the Freshers Ball. Freshers Ball, listen, everything is going well. Buhle is being her bossy self. We don't really see Buhle in these episodes. We only see her here where she's like, we plan our outfits and everything. So why aren't you dressed like this? Khaya's literally drinking alcohol. He's like, I do not have time for this. You're being so weird. Loosen up. We see Zinhle having nausea and she's vomiting, and she goes into the bathroom. Amo goes after her and confronts her in the toilet, but we're gonna get into that a little bit later. For now, let us focus on Alex and Tumelo. Like, Tumelo has been my favorite character of the show so far, but in this moment, I'm not gonna lie, I lost all respect for him. Like, throughout these 3 episodes, I was kind of on the fence. I was kind of side-eyeing him. So then we see Alex showing up, and they were looking good. They were wearing like the silver, and they were actually matching with the Tumelo, and they were wearing a skirt and I think a nice cute top. Tumelo is annoyed at this. It's like, what are you wearing? And Alex is like, I'm just expressing myself. I'm non-binary and I'm just expressing myself with how I feel today. And Tumelo is disgusted. He's like, I want a man, not this. And they were being so homophobic, which is disgusting. That scene was just so disgusting. It was appalling to me. On to other things. Amo confronts Zinhle at the toilet, and Zinhle loses it. She goes off on Amo, accuses Amo of being jealous, and is like, oh, you only came into my life because you wanted to fish for stories, not because you want to be my friend. Stay the heck away from me. But is Amo gonna do that? No, she's not, because she's on a mission of sanctifying herself. I mean, all these people are problematic. Like, all these characters are problematic in their own ways. So then Zinhle storms off and is like, get I ever existed and leave my life. Now this last scene, we see Khaya is drunk now because he's been drinking all night. We see de Klerk, we see Mr. Ramatuba coming in and dispersing the students, and as Usufako is trying to sneak Khaya out of the venue so that they don't get caught that they were drinking, Mr. Ramatuba calls him back, and obviously he likes singling Khaya out because he doesn't like Khaya. Khaya just goes off, starts swearing at him, and is like, if you there, you are a fossil. And Mr. Ramatuba was like, you pass one little test and you think you can insult me like this? And he's like, when are you at Vits? They don't know you. You Nisa, they don't know you. You passed matric with the highest certificate. He lost his cool, and I think it was just a boiling point That was Youngins season 1, episode 7 to 9. And listen here, these episodes were fire. Like, everything is coming to a halt. Like, Amo's plan to expose the principal, I don't know how they thought they were gonna get evidence to expose the principal by getting closer to Zinhle, as if Zinhle is gonna report or expose her boyfriend. Khaya, I feel like we're gonna get more of Khaya's storyline, especially since we also received the dad's phone call. Mahlatsi still fumbling hard, friend zoning himself. I still feel like the principal is gonna get exposed by the season finale, and Amo is gonna do that. So I don't know how she's gonna do that with Zinhle not cooperating. I want to see more of Khaya and Sifako's friendship. I love their friendship so much. What are my predictions? I actually feel like Sifako's gonna get outed. I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know when, but I still have that feeling. The principal is gonna get arrested. Amo and Khaya are gonna get into a relationship. Those are my thoughts on Youngins so far. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.